Welcome to Man of Heart Classics. Why are we here today, Tim, and where's Father Jack?
Okay, Father Jack, open brackets, Jim, close brackets, is off gallivanting down south somewhere.
Gallivanting.
Gallivanting. So we've got the lovely Damian here today instead of Jim. I'm sure you're going to fill his boots very well.
I don't know about that.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. So it's our first walk around of 2025. So we've got a mixture of cars in for you today to have a look at. All available to buy at our next auction on the 15th of February. Now, don't forget, guys, as well, the bikes are being sold on Friday the 14th, cars on February the 15th.
Yes.
So just a mark of the diaries.
Cars exactly as it always has been on the Saturday.
Yeah.
But we're doing Friday for bikes this time round.
Okay, so let's crack on. We've got a couple of re-entries here, Damo, haven't we? And you know about these two cars, don't you?
Well, yeah, these we have talked about before, haven't we? And lovely little things. This particular one, Datsun 120A, you just don't find them in this condition, do you, Tim?
No, no. Rare little thing. Nice low mileage.
Very original in terms of its presentation.
Yeah.
Hasn't been messed around with. You know, they're the original steel wheels with little plastic caps on.
Yes.
But all the details there. I mean, and these were kind of so different from what was around in the 70s, weren't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they've got all these nice little features like the lights at the back.
Yep.
That really have, come into their own now, that they're classics.
Quite a capacious little boot there as well.
Capacious, that's a good word, Tim.
It's a good word for what day are we today? Friday? Monday? Who knows?
Who knows?
Right, okay. So price-wise on that one, David, let's just say we've had a word with the vendor.
Yes.
We've pulled the reserve down slightly on that one, haven't we?
Yes.
So I think we're looking at somewhere between 8 and 9.
8 and 9 on that one.
Yeah, 8 and 9 on this one. Okay,
now,
fine.
This one
has
had a significant change in its estimate.
Okay.
We are now at 40 to 45 on this Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 FQ440 MR.
Okay.
That's the full.
Easy for you to say.
That's the full description. I think I got that right.
Yes.
This is probably collector quality, isn't it? It's one of only 40. Super rare. The very end of the line for the Evos.
Yes.
So a little bit of history, really.
Yes. Yes.
Hugely successful.
Showing only 7,000 miles as well, so it's like new, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And it's in that 7,000 miles, it's had 4 services, if I remember rightly, and it's been looked after.
Yes.
It just needs a new home, and I could see, certainly a very usable car to own, but I could also see this being tucked away in a collection as a
it's certainly good enough for a collection, isn't it?
It's good enough for a collection, and it marks the end of what was such a kind of successful and iconic line of cars from Mitsubishi. So
I've driven to us as well from the vendor's home.
Yes, it was.
150 miles or so. Cash-wise on that one, like you say, between 40 and 45.
So that's come down quite considerably. That's a good 10% reduction at least.
Let's have a look over here. That's the first two. So if you wander over here, we've got this Bentley Arnage to have a look at.
Oh.
Not that one.
Not that one.
It's this blue one.
We're going straight to the blue one,
which is also a re-entry as well. So I know Jim was rather taken by this. It's an Arnage T. It's a Mulliner spec.
Yes.
So this is an Isle of Man car. So it will have to be re-registered with a UK plate. But what an eyeful of car. Oh. Somewhere between £22,000 and £24,000 on this one.
Every time I look at it, I think that's just such a trifling amount for what is a huge amount of high quality motor car.
I mean, the interior is just beautiful in this. I'm a big fan of this interior. Quilted leather. You've got this half turned aluminium wood dash. Likewise on the door caps as well.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful colour, and it's set on a lovely set of alloys as well.
Yes. Yes. No, I mean, everything looks right on it, doesn't it? It's just presented beautifully.
Yes. So come and have a look at that one at our viewing days, which will be the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before the 15th of February.
Indeed. You don't need an appointment. Just turn up.
Come and have a look at this one. Right. Okay then. Let's go and have a look at what's next. What about the Europa? Let's have a look at the Europa. Yeah. So this is going to be in the auction. Oh, I've driven this. I drove this. It drives superbly. You know an awful lot about this because you've done a video on this car, haven't you?
Well, I'm a little bit jealous because I wanted to drive this for the video, but you nabbed it from me.
I did.
Quite good at doing that.
Yeah.
This is, and it should drive well because this was fettled only a couple of years ago by Elvis from Wheeler Dealers. Did it for the show, and he went to town on. He separated the body from the chassis, renewed all the suspension, corner weighted it. Wow. They took it up the Chelsea Walsh Hill. Yes. And you tell me it drives beautifully.
It drives great.
I would expect it to do so.
And it's been gone through.
And it's been gone through.
Price-wise on that one, Damo? 22, 24-ish, we think?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
Absolutely. And, they're a rare thing. When was the last time you saw?
Absolutely.
Saw one on the roads.
Super rare.
This has actually come out of, this sold with us about 12 months ago to a collector, and it's come out of his collection. So it's very much as it was back then.
What a great looking bit of kit.
Also one of the very first road cars with mid-engine.
Oh, right, okay.
Because, of course, Lotus were doing it and winning Grand Prix with it.
Yes,
But it hadn't become mainstream for road cars to have a mid-engine. Colin Chapman brought this out, and obviously...
Interesting fact number one of the video.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Maybe the last interesting fact. We'll see.
I think we ought to go to the mini room next, Charlotte, because we've got a couple of cars in there which we need to show.
You're incredibly random, Tim. I thought we'd just walk around the cars that were there in front of us, but no,
it's random. The way I live my life,
getting
pretty
steps
random.
in.
Pretty random. So
working up those mince pies.
Absolutely.
I recognise this one as well.
Another re-entry. Yep. Little Honda CRX. Del Sol, I think they were called in the day, possibly.
Yeah, kind of differentiated between the ones that were based on Civics, coupe-wise. This is obviously the open top one. Top is open at the moment.
Yeah. The top does work, doesn't it? It goes up.
Well, I don't think all of them had the electric top. I'm not sure, but this one definitely does have the electric top, and we have had it working.
Okay.
It's on some nice aftermarket alloys. It's got a nice aftermarket exhaust, which isn't too loud, but just sounds really, really good. Yep. And cracking little starter classic. This would be.
I think so. MOT till May 2025. 118,000 miles, I think it does. Got lots and lots of service history. But probably the best thing of all, it's a no reserver.
Oh, well, yes.
So potential bargain there for somebody, I think, on the day. An ideal for spring, summer, wind in your hair. Well, your hair, maybe not mine. But yeah, great, smart looking little classic, that one.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's have a look at this then. So this is another re-entry. Again, it's going to be a no reserve. And this is a little cheeky little Goggomobil.
Cheeky indeed.
Never heard of these before. I've never seen one before, never heard of them before until this one rocked up before the last sale. And it's very cute. It's very similar to a Fiat 500 kind of look, certainly at the front. Obviously, you've got the little engine underneath there. I think these are East German or Eastern Bloc little cars.
Sounds about right.
So that one's going to be a no reserve as well. So that's one to come and have a look at if you're interested in a rare little microcar.
I think rare's underplaying it.
Yes.
I don't know how many of these there are in the country, but I would be surprised if it was in double figures.
Indeed.
So I think that's going to be quite special. Turning up at Cars and Coffee in one of those, is going to get you a few looks.
It will indeed. As indeed if you turned up in this as well, which is another re-entry as well from the last sale. Inevitably, some cars just don't sell on day for whatever reason. Generally speaking, Fiat 500s go pretty well, but for whatever reason, this one didn't go, which means it's an opportunity for somebody else in February to buy this. Very bright, very cheerful looking Fiat 500.
They should be bright and cheerful, shouldn't they? Because they're bright and cheerful cars.
Yes.
And this is lovely, actually. This is really nice condition. Left-hand drive, this one.
Yeah. It's been gone through, hasn't it, by the looks of it? I mean, I think it looks as though it's been certainly had a bit of paint over the years, I would say. Looking at that, very smart interior, white wall tyres. Price-wise on that one, 7.5 to 8.5. So yeah, and I think that's about the going rate for a Fiat 500.
For one as nice as this, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I think if you're going below that, you're looking at inferior examples. So I think that would be a nice buy for somebody.
Definitely. Right. Okay. I think that's for in here. Should we go and have a look at the other hall? And see what's in
Okay.
there?
Well, I'm in your hands, Tim.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay then.
Metaphorically.
Let's swiftly walk through here then, passing the lovely Jaguar, which sold at our last auction. Right, so...
what are we starting with?
Let's go have a look over here. So we've got this lovely Merc S500 here. So this is a whole heap of car for the money. The W140 version.
This
This
must have been the most advanced car of its type.
It was
this came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I think the legend is that Mercedes spent £1 billion on the development of the W140.
Right. Okay.
So, and it's perceived to be the last of the proper Mercs, if you can call them that. But this is just a whole slice of Merc motoring for not a huge amount of money. I think this will probably go between £6,000 and £7,000. Now, maybe a touch more.
Very often these have got mega miles on, but I don't think this one has it, Tim?
Just over 50. Just over 50,000 with some history.
Is that running in miles on a car like this?
Absolutely.
I think it is.
I mean, that's a lovely V8, really peachy engine, that one. You've got leather, you've got double glazing, you've got the eight hole alloys on it. It's just a very nice, usable. You could daily that.
Oh yes, yeah. It's such a classic Bruno Sacco design.
Bruno Sacco, wasn't he the inside right for AC Milan? No, was that somebody else? No, I'm getting them mixed up. Okay then.
Poor old Bruno.
I'm being silly.
Poor old Bruno. And it's in silver.
And it's in silver.
And Mercs always look great in silver. So
December 2025 MOT on that one. Okay.
Where are we headed to next?
I think we have a look. Oh, let's walk. Oh, you see, Jim got all giddy when he saw this last week after Christmas. He saw this again. He got all giddy.
He's got a pair of trousers like that, hasn't he?
He has. What about this Saab here, Damo?
What about the Saab here?
Needs a wash, but it's in.
With apologies to everybody. Obviously, washing wasn't top of our priorities last week under the inches of snow that we had. So things are looking, perhaps some of them need a little bit of a spruce up. That's all being taken care of today. We're starting on that now.
Yeah.
This one is actually in really, really lovely condition. This is the second Saab 9.3 2.8 Carlsson.
V6.
Was
XWD.
Four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive.
Wow.
But it's the Carlsson bit.
This
was the top of the range. This had all the bells and whistles. Around, off the top of my head, around 275 horsepower, something like that. As we mentioned earlier, four-wheel drive. They're all automatic, but they've all got paddle shift, and they were made in very limited numbers. This one is, I'd say, the second one that we've had in the last few months. And just as nice as the first, just a different colour.
I mean, that's full leather interior, isn't it? You've got the auto box.
I mean, you look around there, nice. It's got 93,000 miles on it, but you would not be able to tell.
It's a good nick.
I challenge you to tell from the condition of the interior. These wheels are beautiful and have just been refurbished.
They look
with a set of new tyres on there as well.
That's always a good sign, isn't it?
It's always nice.
When you look matching tyres, and a decent make, that's good. That's good. I like that. Good. Price-wise on that one, Damo, where are we? 8 to 9?
8 to 9. 8 to 9.
£8,000 to £9,000, I think, on that one. Excellent. Okay. Good. Let's have a look at this one here. So this is a very smart CLK 320. If you come round the front, Charlotte, I can show you the interior.
Just before you do that, this hood
looks nice, isn't it?
Very, very smart. That looks pretty new to me.
I think that is testament to the mileage, which is just 40,000 miles. That's all this car has done. And you can kind of tell from the paintwork, the interior's lovely. It's the Elegance version. So it's the smart with one or two nice little extras. And it's the right engine. That 320 engine is a honey, isn't it?
It's the sweet spot, I think, of these CLKs.
It is. It is.
So I think that is a lovely thing. And if you are, like the rest of us, coming out of the snow and thinking, when is the sun going to shine? Well, you want this on your drive for when it does start shining, because this will be a fantastic car.
Super, isn't it? Super. Yeah,
for the
really like that one. Now, one family owner from you, this one.
Right.
No reserve. We like a no reserve.
That's a lot of car for no reserve.
It is a lot. And I've had one of these. I had a CLK 320, and it was super. Really, really liked it. Very usable, quick enough, as quick as you want it to be, and get that roof down, and it's great. So very, very nice, that. Like that.
Lovely.
Now, onto a classic British car here, little MGB GT. It's a chrome bumper. You've got the Webasto. Old English white by the looks of it, or certainly cream.
Yep.
Nice.
Very nice interior.
Red leather, Oxford leather.
Cream piped.
Yeah, nice that. Yeah.
I can't
so
get
that's obviously aftermarket, isn't it?
It is, but it really suits the external colour. It really works with it.
Doesn't
it? It gives that kind of mini Aston Martin vibe that the MGB GT kind of had.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
So that's a lovely thing. I think those seats may even be heated. There's a couple of little switches in the middle,
okay, gosh,
which I can't quite identify.
Oh, right, okay.
They're certainly not window switches, so I think they could be heated.
Maybe the spots?
Heated
Perhaps the
seats.
spots on the front, maybe? Oh, well, who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yes, we'll work it out when we drive it. But,
we're looking at between £5,000 and £6,000, I think, for that one, Damo, aren't we?
Yes, that's
right.
So
in that rate. We've got some aftermarket alloys, which I know won't be everybody's cup of tea, but MG spare parts are cheap, accessible.
Yes.
So it's not beyond the stretch to stick some rust stars on there if you wanted to, or some wires even.
Yes, it wouldn't be hard to get, wouldn't break the bank. And that would give you kind of more of a period look.
Yeah.
But yeah, lovely little thing.
We like that. Okay then, right, on to... Now, let's have a look at... there's a few cars over here which have come in quite recently, actually, so we might as well do these, as seeing as we're here.
Try not to trip over anything.
Try not to trip it. So, this is obviously a Fiat X1 It's just literally come in. It's on a T, so it's late 70s, 78, 79. It's an X1 with a twist, not just because of the paint, but originally this would have had a 1500 engine in it.
Right.
It's now got a Fiat Punto 1.4 turbo engine in it. So not only has it got a more modern engine in it, but it actually means it can keep up with traffic.
I would imagine it'd do more than just keep up with traffic. I mean, these things didn't weigh a huge amount.
No.
That's quite a perky little engine.
That is a perky. I think they're about 130 brake. So that will be quite perky, like you say. Quite a handful in the snow, but...
800, 900 kilos, something?
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
That's
don't
quite
quote
right.
me on that. I'm guessing, but not very much.
Not very much.
Have they got a 5-speed box in these?
5-speed box. 5-speed box. Well, I think. I will 99% sure 5-speed box. It's on the alloys, but obviously the alloys have been painted. We've got a price on this of somewhere in the region of £5,500. Right. I think for a standard X19 in this condition, because it looks to be pretty solid, you're probably paying £8,000, £9,000. So again, I think there's a potential bargain there for somebody. It's only showing just over 40,000 miles on the clock. And there's tons and tons and tons of paperwork with it as well.
Really?
Which is always good to see. So that's probably one to come and have a look at.
That strikes me as a huge amount of fun.
I think it will be, definitely. Just behind Charlotte, we've got another huge amount of fun.
It's a very different way.
In a different way, albeit in a more sedate way, probably.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. We've got this lovely Type 2 Kombi van with the extra seats in the back here. Another re-entry, didn't quite do the business on the day, so we've had a chat to the owner. We've marked the price down just a touch. So this is a lovely little car. Left hooker, somewhere between £13,000 and £14,000 now, we reckon. It's mid-60s on an E, and a great colour combination.
It's lovely, isn't it? Quite unusual.
Yeah, we like that. I like that. So yeah, so come and have a look at that one. On to the next. So again, this one has just come in as well. There's a bit of a theme here because not only has that Fiat had a different engine fitted, you'd think this is a stock mini Clubman, wouldn't you? Maybe a 1275 GT.
You're going to tell me it's got something
so Charlotte,
under there.
Well, Charlotte, just come and run the camera along there. So Mini 1796 GT. So this has got an
well-known model.
Yeah, absolutely. This has got an 1800k series fitted, which accounts for the wider stance at the front.
Right.
Obviously,
okay.
It's got a matching wider stance at the rear. It's been stripped out to some extent, although obviously the seats are still in place. We have a roll bar in there. I'm pretty sure this thing will absolutely fly. I was talking to the owner, and he thinks there's maybe 150, 160 brake horsepower this thing's pushing out, which is a little bit ridiculous, given it's a Mini, but huge fun.
Yes.
I think this will be huge fun. Pageant blue paintwork with the black roof. Those look like Triumph Dolomite Sprint.
I was going to say that to you. Yeah, definitely Triumph Dolomite wheels.
It will come with some spare parts as well.
Oh, right, okay. Watch yourself there.
And also the Fiat will come with some spare parts. So we'll take pictures of the spare parts as and when the spare parts arrive.
That's a little weapon, that.
It is a little weapon, actually. Yes, it is. And price-wise on this one, I think we're probably looking at £6,000–7,000 on that one, which when you compare it to a 1275 GT, which we will show you very shortly, it's good value. It's very good value.
Also, I imagine it's not been cheap to do it to this level.
True.
Somebody's put a lot of time, love and money into that.
Yeah, definitely. I've noticed, actually, this shell's been de-seamed as well.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. I've just noticed that, but it's not really a problem, but, just to point that out to the viewers. Right, okay then, so that's that. That's Mark's van. While we're talking minis, let's talk about this.
Do be careful, Charlotte, there's lots of stuff to trip
lots
over.
of wires, so we're just cleaning this at the moment.
Right, okay.
1275, let me tell you about this one. 1275 GT Mini, 79, 82,000 miles, in this quite unusual denim blue metallic.
Yes, I'm not sure I've seen one this colour before.
Yeah, it's a factory colour. I think most GTs of the era are probably black with the gold stripes on. This one's a bit unusual being in the blue. You've got the stripy interior, lots of documentation with this.
Those trims, they're original, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're the Dunlop De Novo trims that would have come on the original Dunlop De Novo wheels, but this is now on steels.
Right. Okay.
So there was a train of thought in the day that whilst the De Novos did the job as regards not breaking down and not having to change a wheel, they ruined the ride on the Mini. Yeah. So, but the owner has retained the trims, which I think works quite well actually. The thing I like about this is it's just so original. It's original. It's unspoiled. There's, it's very much almost as it was when it came out the factory.
Apart from the peg.
Apart from the peg. Well, that's a requisite for any Mini.
It is.
For all you Mini owners out there, you know about the peg behind the choke, don't you? Because when you pull the choke out, you twist it, and the twist doesn't always work. So you've got to get a peg.
You've got to have a peg.
A standard British Leyland issue in the day. The peg with the Mini. You pay extra for the peg.
But we won't charge extra for the peg.
We won't charge extra for
You can have the peg for free.
An interesting thing about this Mini as well is only one former keeper, which is quite rare.
Yes, that's very rare.
And it's got twin tanks. So it just makes it a bit more usable. Yeah. The original owner, who owned it from 1979 all the way through to 2021, he specified those when it was new. So there you go.
Very good.
Manor. Price-wise on that, 10 to 12. 10 to 12, which I think is okay in the current market.
This we will deal with just very quickly because it's come in, but we've spotted something that the vendor would prefer to address before it goes through an auction. So he's taking it back. Yep. And we're hoping it will be back with us in time for the auction on the 15th. However, just a quick brief introduction to it, it is a Mexico Evocation. Okay. So it's not the genuine Mexico. Nobody's pretending it is. But boy, does it look good.
It looks great, doesn't it? It looks super. I love the colour. The orange and the black really, really work. It's got the sports seats inside by the looks of it. I've heard it start up and it sounded quite throaty.
It's got a massive pair of carbs on it, hasn't it? It is.
We like a massive pair of carbs, don't we?
But we will tell you a little bit more about this when it returns to us. But,
yes. Okay.
That's something. Keep an eye on that one. It's on the website. Not many details at the moment.
Yeah.
As and when it comes back, there will be more appearing.
What would you pay for a standard Mexico Mark 1? What are you talking, 35, 40 maybe?
Possibly.
And we're looking at a price roughly of?
Roughly around kind of 21 to 23.
Right, okay, so it's half price.
So it's half price. This is also a car that I know the owner uses. I've seen this at Cars and Coffee Liverpool, which is not on the guy's doorstep.
Okay. Right.
And so it's a car that he's not scared to drive some distances in.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah.
So he has the confidence in it, and it's
great, isn't
just
it?
cracking looking thing, isn't it?
Really like that. Okay, super. Just behind Charlotte is a little Austin A40 pickup, which is very sweet. We're just charging up the battery as we speak, in anticipation of taking it out on the video later on this week.
Yeah.
But George has shot a complete video on this one. So
yes.
Over to George for more about this.
So another car that has arrived this week is this Austin A40. It's not a car actually, it's a pickup truck. So let's have a look at it and let's have some more detail about what makes this car very special to be in our sale. Okay, let's have a look at it in detail. Under the bonnet here is the famous little A series engine that was very famous for BMC for many years. This is actually a 12 horse, so it's 1200cc, and it has about 40 brake horsepower, hence them calling the A40. As you can see, this is in really good condition, and there's lots of things I like about cars when they come to sale is the detail. And this one looks as though it's been well loved, well used, and it's got some great original features. Even the badge on here from the original radiator, the original wiper there, and this beautiful wiring here braided like it will have been when it left the factory. Right, interior, as you can see, it's got a bench seat, so it will take 3 people, but somebody that's 6 foot would have a lot of trouble. You cannot actually adjust the seat one way or another. There's also here a column change. I think the earlier ones actually had a floor change. I think this was possibly an extra, but as you can see, it's in beautiful condition, and I think somebody who'd have this vehicle would have a lot of fun with it. So being a pickup, as you expect, you have this lovely open space. So let's have a look and see how good it is. Looking at that there, you can see it's in really very condition. It was actually made by Jensen for Austin at their factory in West Bromwich. This is all aluminium, and as you can see by opening it up, it has a huge area. It would take something like 10 hundredweight, really good condition. The popularity of commercial vehicles, we've sold a number of them at this sale, Fords particularly, but to have an Austin in this good condition, I'm sure for reservists somewhere in about £10,000, somebody can have a lot of fun and take it to lots of great shows, which this has already been. Looking at the badge on the front of it, shows in Cornwall somewhere in its life. Now then, back to you.
So thanks, George, for that. Excellent work as normal. I'd like to show you a big slice of British Leyland motoring here. Look at this.
Oh.
Now, a Maxi. Not just any old Maxi though. This is in champagne. So
if my champagne was that colour, I'd send it back.
Yeah, I think this is just lovely.
It is, isn't it?
And I think the owner's been pretty clever, or somebody's been pretty clever, because they've added the overriders, which gives it a look of an earlier car.
Right,
an early
okay,
70s Max, or late 60s even, which is when they were introduced. You've got the silver and black reg plates as well, but you've also got the chrome trims on the wheels.
Yes.
And I think the overall look as kind of pointing towards an early 70s Maxi when it's not. It's actually late 70s.
It's got a more classic look. I'll tell you what I've just spotted. I've just spotted this little Zybar's rust-proofing sticker in the back window here.
That's probably why
which is probably why it's still with us.
Yes.
Zybar was
Do you want to come round here, Charlotte?
An amazing product which has saved numerous classics.
Yes. So this is the 1750 version. I'm guessing with it being the late 70s, this is just before the Maxi 2 came out with the big bumpers and the full wheel trims. But that's great. I'm a big fan of a Maxi. I just think they're so practical. yourself and Mrs. Rigby, or the present Mrs. Rigby, could go out camping in that, put the seats down. You could live in that for a few days, couldn't you?
Rather you than me, pal.
The look says it all. With your biscuits and your sausages. Incidentally, biscuits and sausages. We like sausages and we like biscuits. So.
Bring biscuits and sausages. It's a lovely present, just so you become friend of the Manor Park family.
The Manor Park family, indeed. £5,000 to £6,000 on that one.
Oh yes,
which
back to the car.
Yeah, which I think is about right. You know, in the present market, it's in really good condition. Nice low mileage shown on the odometer. That looks like sort of a very nice velour upholstery as well. So no plastic seats in there.
No.
Which is always a bonus.
This is probably the nicest Maxi I've seen in a very, very long time.
I think it's the only Maxi I've seen for a very long time. Because they are rare, aren't they?
Zybars.
Now, let's have a look around here. I think we're done in here, Damo, but there is one thing outside, isn't there? I think we've got that Land Rover to go and have a look at.
We have.
Okay, Damo, so what have we here? We're outside. It's a bit brass monkeys, isn't it? Not quite as bad as it used to be, but what have we got here?
We have a Wolf Defender.
Okay.
So a Land Rover Defender, which has seen active service, has literally just come out of active service. It's with its first civilian owner, and it's not used to weather like this or these conditions because it's come from Africa.
Has it really? Gosh.
So because it's come from Africa, it's remarkably rust-free. I can't say 100% rust-free, but certainly remarkably rust-free.
Yeah.
It's literally just landed, so I've not had a good look round it yet.
Okay.
But it's
a look, isn't it?
It looks fab, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's got all the bits.
You'd create a stir in that, wouldn't you?
You certainly would, but nothing's going to stop you in one of these.
No. Is the Wolf Cherish Reg staying with the car?
The Wolf Cherish Reg does stay with the car.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And what are we looking at price-wise on that one, Damo?
13 to 15.
Okay.
I think is the estimate on this one.
Okay.
So
have a look in there, Charlotte. Oh,
be careful.
There we are.
The spec for a Wolf I'll go through on the when I do the written description, but you can see things like this big solid roll bar for extra protection.
Yes.
You know, these were a step up from your average Land Rover.
Yes.
And
So it's an aftermarket Wolf conversion, is it?
well, I think they were done for the. I think probably done by Land Rover for the army or for various armies. In fact, because I mean these things went around the world, didn't they?
Yeah.
I imagine there's probably not many armies that haven't had a fleet of Land Rovers at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's quite special.
Yeah.
I say more details will be available on the website shortly. It has just arrived.
Coupe, super. Okay, lovely. Right, okay, so I think that concludes our walk around.
Yes.
For this week's cars, the first batch of 2025. More cars coming soon.
Yes.
What have you got in the offing? Anything spectacular, interesting?
Spectacular, interesting? I've got all sorts of things.
Anything in the offing or not? Anything that nice? I've got a couple of E-types, just saying.
Oh, I knew this was going to be an opportunity for you to show off about what marvellous stuff you've got coming. I've got some lovely things coming. I haven't got any E-types.
Oh,
and
we
will leave it there while I'm losing.
Okay, so hope you enjoyed the video. If you see anything that you like today, please have a look at the website, manorparkclassics.com. Have a look at our YouTube channel, click on like and click on subscribe. Like I say, if you see anything that you like, have a look at the website or give us a ring in the office. Oh, and bring sausages.
And biscuits.